I'm Amy,
I'm Scott.
and we're both physical therapists here at Stevens Memorial Hospital. We moved to Maine in 2004 to go to University of New England, and we were there for 7 years, and we moved to Bethel and started work here about 7.5 years ago.
And we're married.
I think the beauty of Maine is you have pretty much everything you want. I mean, you have little metropolises like Portland, and you have incredible restaurants and the mountains and the beach, but you don't have the people necessarily, and the crowds are a lot less, and things are generally more affordable. Housing's a lot more affordable.
We have kind of the mindset of we want to live where we play versus live where we work and have to travel every time we want to do something fun. So living in Maine, there's something to find everywhere. You got the mountains, you got the ocean. We like to be right in the thick of it and not have to travel to experience that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm Amy.
And I'm Scott.
And you can find your Maine job
at liveandworkinmaine.com.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Lease the all-new Stelvio for just $377 per month at Alfa Romeo of Portland.
I think that'll do it.
Well, good. Let's go see upstairs.
Let's do it.
An echo of an echo is the semblance of a sound. And I pressed and I've waited with my ear upon the ground. Oh, lover, I'll see you there, waiting in the willows with your autumn hair. Oh, lover, I'll see you there after many miles.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Maine Life. This is Andrew, Tim, Erin, and Baxter here out the window. And this is a very special show because it is our last original show of 2018. And with what better people?
Hey, we made it.
We made it.
Get to the end of the season and I get to drive the car.
Yes, our Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Thank you, Jack Quirk. What do you think?
I love it.
Pretty
It's a
snazzy,
great car.
right? It's been good to us. It's kept us safe. And this week we are traveling around central Maine. And Andrew, you have wanted us all season long to feature Johnson Hall, and we finally get to do that.
Johnson Hall's doing a huge renovation project and they're fundraising, and I think it'd be great to see it in its early stages.
And you're a big supporter of the arts too. So.
Absolutely.
From the arts to new breweries, so
You got it.
stay tuned. Hello.
Hey, good to see
This
you.
is Mike McLawn.
Good
Hey,
to
how
see
are ya?
you.
He's
Executive Director here at Johnson Hall.
Welcome.
We are excited to be here. We've been talking about this for a long time.
I know, we
so
finally made it happen. It's great.
Here we are.
Would you like to get the quick tour?
I would love the quick tour.
You are in our lobby, our tiny little lobby as it is right now. And we'll go upstairs and see the big theater after, but I'll show you where we do shows now.
And you're getting ready for your festival
Of trees, yes, that starts tomorrow. So, yeah. So this is our studio theater. We do about 50 shows a year here from September to June. Everything happens in here. We get about 117 seats in here. We get about 3,000 people a year.
Wow.
They come from all over. Well, last year we had 116 cities in Maine.
Really?
And 25 states. So we have people coming from all over. So, but everything happens in this space. We have our workshops, our rentals, our meetings, our performances. Everything happens here. We just had Sean Mullins in here. We've got Paula Coles coming, Livingston Taylor, people like that. And then we have theatrical performances. So we'll have Shakespeare groups come in, do shows. We do comedy every month. We do a stand-up comedy. Main Event Comedy does it every month, which is awesome. And then family shows. It's a little bit of everything.
So currently this space is being utilized, and the
Yes.
upstairs, which
Yes.
we're about to see,
Yes.
is the real
That's the
fundraising effort.
Exactly. That's the renovation that we're in. And like I said, we'll go from 117 down here to 400 seats upstairs. So that's what gets really exciting. And we'll keep this space going, which will be awesome.
Yeah.
Not 2 years.
There's a small capital campaign.
Just a
going on.
tiny little capital campaign. we are at $3,071,000, and we're trying to get to 4.9. So, and we're hoping we'll be able to do that in about a year.
And somebody tells me Kennebec Savings Bank has a hand in helping with that.
They may or may not have been our first and largest sponsor. So, yeah,
That is called product placement, my friends.
Well done.
We are very thankful.
Well,
yeah.
good. Let's
Yeah.
go see upstairs.
Let's do it.
How old is the building?
It is 154 years old. Wow. Yes. So this is our historic Johnson Hall Theater, and built in 1864. And it was originally, this building was built as an accompaniment to the hotel that used to be next door. It used to be the Johnson Hotel. So that was built first, obviously, and then the first floor was actually the livery. Second floor was a dining space for the hotel restaurant, and then this used to be just a flat room, flat-floored hall. They had roller skating, they had big events, graduations, things like that, and then eventually converted it to an opera house. Raked the floor, put in seats. Used to be a big horseshoe balcony, and eventually became a movie house in the late 20s, and then ran until 1956, and then it's been closed ever since.
Has it really?
Yeah.
And now, what's the goal for the future?
So the goal really now is when we get done, we are going to pull the stage back out. It'll be about 25 feet deep. There'll be 300 seats on the floor and 100 seats in the balcony, and we will be having those large-scale national touring acts coming back in here.
So this has been a labor of love since 2013 for you?
Yes,
Is that
yep,
right?
yep. I'm going on 6 years now, and like I said, I'm not a patient guy, so I've been, my whole job when I took the job was to get this project rolling, and we did that right off in 2013. The board committed to a capital campaign, and then we've just been raising funds and working on that ever since, and now we are over $3 million in, and just waiting for those last dollars.
And what do you think this project will do for Gardner and the downtown?
I think it's going to be a hub, an artistic hub for the region. And actually, what I love about it is that we'll be connected to a lot of other communities. We'll be sort of like, we call it the artistic causeway. If you start in Lewiston, you'll be able to come to Gardner, you'll be able to go to Augusta, you'll be able to go on to Waterville, and then Bangor. It'll be this recreational area that I think will be huge for the community. But Gardner itself will reap the benefits because people will spend their dollars. They'll go to dinner, they'll go to shops, they'll stay overnight, they buy gas. It just pumps a lot of dollars into the community.
So we're just $1.9 million short of
Just
this
a
becoming
Just a
reality?
little bit.
we're so close. Yeah. So 1.9 left to go. We're really hoping to be able to do that in about a year. We've raised $3 million in under 2 years. We figure we can raise the 1.9 in about a year, and then construction starts right then. And then we figure they say about 11 months. So we could be looking at about 2 years. We could be seeing shows in this space again. Which I just we've done some little performances up here to celebrate our 150th. We did, and to hear applause and laughter and audience energy again up here was I was surprised at how emotional that was. It was just crazy to feel that again. So I'm very anxious.
Coming in today to the A1 Diner.
Hi there.
All right,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having us. And it's kind of a perfect day too, because it's a little dreary outside.
It
so.
is.
Yeah, it's a good day to be in here.
Warming up. Well, thank you for introducing us to
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
spot.
Aaron's just taken over, right?
Yep, been 2 weeks. I took over for my former employers, Mike Giverson and Neil Anderson.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
They've been in business since 1946.
The diner's been here since 1946. Mike and Neil took over in 1988 from Michael's father. So I make the 5th owner of the A1 Diner in its history.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But this is not your first rodeo here.
No, I was a cook here starting in 2001. I learned how to cook, learned the restaurant business from Mike and Neil. I worked some shifts out front as well, so I've pretty much got a back of house to front of house perspective. I did office life for 8 years after I put myself through school here, and this place has a gravity to it. It just brought me back, and I had the opportunity to buy it, and I couldn't say no.
So what is it about, from you guys' perspective, that makes this so unique and special?
Well, for one thing, just the building itself is unique. It's a 1946 Worcester diner. There's not too many of these left. I would wager it's the only Worcester diner in the world that's suspended on steel pilings. So we're actually about 16 to 18 feet above the ground right now on this diner car, so that's unique. And the food is just, it's crazy cool. We always have interesting stuff on the menus, keeping our cooks interested, keeping our customers excited about coming back. In addition to your standard diner fare, which you'll find in your menus in front of you, we've got all kinds of stuff that we rotate, bringing flavors from around the world and just putting it onto an American plate. So that's kind of what we're all about.
I like it. So do you get inspired by all sorts of things?
Oh yeah, we'll get inspired at a farmer's market. We'll see some really great fennel or something and you decide, okay, we want to make something with fennel. And so that'll be the seed of the idea and we'll bring it back into the kitchen and our cooks will bounce ideas around and so we'll just end up on something and give it a try. I mean, half of this is just being fearless and being willing to try something and see how it works.
That's great. I'm going to have the guacamole burger.
That's a good one.
That's your special for the day.
Yep.
I'm going to warm up with a cup of the turkey and wild rice soup.
Okay.
And then I think, where's the grilled pesto chicken, please. And I hear your fries are a must.
Yes, they are.
And why are they? Why do you feel there's?
Well, you have to do fries the right way. First, you have to blanch them, kind of get them cooking first. Then you pull them. You have to let them cool for a while. Then you cook them again, so they're already kind of done on the inside and crisp them up on the outside. That's the proper way to do French fries.
Sounds
And
good.
then later I might have picked from one of your amazing 15
Dessert menu?
desserts.
Yeah, well,
And those are homemade, right?
those are
Yeah.
homemade. We actually have a Guyberson in-house still. Sue Guyberson, Michael's sister, is our baker, and she does an amazing job on all of our desserts.
All right, thank
All right,
you,
we'll
my
get
friend.
that
Sounds
going.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now this holiday season, what better gift to give than something that was made right here in Maine? So I encourage everybody to check out Down East Magazine's 2018 Maine Made Gift Guide on their website, downeast.com. So in addition to their website, if you're in the Rockport area, you can stop in their retail shop. They have anything from home decor, art, jewelry, and things for your pup. Happy shopping! Freeport Village Station, holiday shopping that is fun and convenient. Free and easy parking, fashion that you can afford, brands you know and love, gift ideas for everyone, sweet treats, dining, and entertainment for the entire family. Get your coupons now and save. Check out onefreeportvillagestation.com. So, happy shopping and happy holidays from Freeport Village Station.
Hi, I'm Sarah Fuller. Welcome to Vanderbrew in Winthrop, Maine.
And I'm Kim Vandermeulen, one of the founders of the brewery started in 2018, which makes it the oldest brewery in Winthrop, Maine. So welcome to Vanderbrew.
So Aaron, this is a great story, and I think Kim ought to share this, how this came to be.
Well, I guess, there's a whole bunch of things that came together, but I've been home brewing for 30 years, and actually I was a practicing lawyer back then. Two of my lawyer friends and I incorporated a brewery in the early 80s, and then just never did anything with it. But to this day I have a little plastic bucket that says Black Bear Brewery of Maine Plant 1, which was what our dream was. So I practiced law for 20 years. There's a big manufacturing business right in this same building that I have run for quite a long time in electronics. They wooed me into electronics. And so I started doing electronics manufacturing 20 years ago. We bought the building. This space was empty. I'd always been brewing beer. I thought Winthrop needed a community center.
Sure.
Sarah's been very involved in the town for years. She's done our marketing and our manufacturing company, and so we started working on this idea that Winthrop needed a place to gather. And the business plan was as much a community center that sells beer.
Well, hello. I mean, that's smart.
As opposed to a beer place that the community comes to. So, and so far, it's really panned out. People just love it. They love the idea they can come in, play some games, you know, meet people. So it's really worked well.
And from your perspective?
No, it's great. I think it's exactly what downtown needs, and you see this happening all across the state where our craft brew industry is creating places for community to come together. It's boosting the economy, it's bringing neighbors and friends together, all around local food, brews, and really, you know, boosting the economy and giving Maine a name for its beer nationwide and internationally.
So you are at the bar, and we're going to let you sample a few beers. We currently have 5 beers on tap. We have a 6th tap that's going to be rotating, and we are just selling our own beers here, but this is the only place in Maine you can get them also. So what you have is our darker beer, the Henley Honey Brown, named after our family dog. And that is, as its name implies, has some honey in it. It's got the darker malts. It's been our best seller so far. And then finally you have...
Yeah. I know where you're going.
That's
I know
my
where you're
favorite.
going.
And then we have I'm All Set, and you're really into IPA now. That's a very hoppy, and it's a double IPA, which means the alcohol content is up there. So the name, in my family, somehow we're always saying, I'm all set. Well, the idea here was if you have one, you're all set.
Got it. So speaking of names.
Yeah, how did the name come about?
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Vandermeulen, Kim Vandermeulen, Dutch, and Vander just means of the. And I've been homebrewing for years and years, and my family, we send photos back and forth all the time, and I sent a photo of just a bottle of homebrew, and my youngest child daughter wrote back immediately, Vanderbrew. The name stuck, so.
Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you very much.
much.
Enjoy.
Yes. I'm all set.
I'd like to welcome you to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kennebec Valley. We're at 14 Praise Street in Gardner, Maine. 2019, we'll be celebrating 20 years as a Boys and Girls Club. We've actually been in this building for 16 years. This facility provides childcare 6 weeks to grade 5, and then a teen program for 6th grade to high school. And we also provide 800 to 900 children in the area with sports programs.
At the age of 5, I moved from Winthrop because a year and a half ago my father had passed away from liver failure, and my mom packed up and moved in next to my grandparents. And we started coming here because me and my brother, where else were we going to go? My mom worked 8.5-hour days at Maine DOT in Augusta, and it wasn't like a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old could hop off the bus and go make an after-school snack. So we came here, and it kind of grew. It was terrifying first day for a little 5-year-old me, but it grew on me, and I'm still here today. I haven't left. 12 years. The support at the club is completely unmatched by anything I've ever seen, school, anywhere. It's by far the best program in Gardner, I think, because it gives kids a place to grow up and be themselves and find who they truly want to be in life.
In the last 12 months, we've had 1,800 kids walk through our doors, either participating in childcare, teen programs, or sports. Our community, 50% of the children and families are free and reduced lunch, so there's a huge need for quality childcare, and there's also a need for tutoring and meals here at the club. That's a big part of what we do. Really what makes it special to me that when kids and families and staff are asked what the club means to them, 2 things that always come shining through are this club is my second home and the people here are my family.
We are at the Main House in Hallowell. It is a beautiful, beautiful city. tons of action going on, tons of music. And when you come to the main house, it's a beautiful little spot, and we do craft cocktails, and we have a lot of Maine beer. We try to do as much Maine things as we can. You know, when people are in here, it's just so nice. We have low lighting, we have live music, local art on the wall, so it's just, you know, it's a really nice atmosphere. Thanks for stopping in at the main house and watching What's Brewing with Dana and Quincy.
In this time of year when we're all focused on other people and the spirit of giving is about as strong as it could possibly be, it is our pleasure to welcome Larry Steers.
First of all, thanks for inviting me here, and forgive me if I gush a little bit, because I'm really proud of what's going on there. So I'm the CEO of the Unity Foundation, and in my role as a foundation executive, I get the opportunity to work with a lot of other foundations. So the idea of Waterville Creates actually came from a friend and a mentor of mine, Greg Powell, at the Alphon Foundation.
Interesting.
We were in a place not unlike this, having dinner, and he was the one who hypothesized the idea of what if we could find a way to capture all the energy around arts and culture in a community, and find a way to manage it in such a way that it was more prolific, more available, ran more efficiently, and there was less competition for donors and for board members. Fast forward a couple of years, people are getting around the table. They're starting to get excited. They're starting to trust each other. They're starting to understand the value of this. The backdrop, a lot of other stuff going on in Waterville at the same time. The other backdrop, we own a significant piece of real estate in the middle of downtown Waterville, the Center Building, Stearns Building, which we had hoped could turn into an arts and culture hub for the city.
That's fascinating, and I love the focus on arts and culture, because we all know how important arts and culture is to the communities. I'm curious if the success of Waterville Creates had anything to do with specific attributes to Waterville, or if you think this is something that could be recreated in other communities across the state.
I believe what we did at Waterville Creates, it can be replicated in any community. If you can get people around the table, you can get everyone to discuss why they think it's important and how to proliferate it from an arts education standpoint in the schools, all the way up through to performance art and things that people want to do on the weekends or after dinner. I think if you get that kind of conversation going, the collaboration comes together. So I think this is scalable. I think it's doable anywhere. But here's the most important thing for me. I'm not an art guy. But what I learned is how important arts and culture is as part of the community. And a lot of times we don't think about it. You know, we just assume it's going to be there. And so Waterville Creates has been an excellent example of this, and we are really, really proud of what we've accomplished.
You're probably pleased to hear this, but this is going to be our final show for this year, and we want to leave you knowing how much we've appreciated coming into your home. We will be back next year, but in the meantime, we want you to have the most special holiday season you could possibly have.
Welcome everybody to Kennebec Savings Bank. This is the headquarters of Kennebec Savings Bank.
Yes, lots of friendly faces. Happy holidays, everybody. The building is decked out, and we have a lot to celebrate this month, obviously with the holidays, but also a very special birthday for Kennebec Savings Bank.
We do. Our headquarters is a building that was built in 1816, and I think it would be fun to show that building off a
The
little.
history. This was somebody's house. Let's go see.
So this is the Benjamin Tappan home, and it was built in 1816. It's on the National Historic Register. So Benjamin Tappan was one of the early ministers of South Parish Congregational Church, and he went to divinity school down in Harvard, and it took the community 2 years to woo him from Harvard to take on the role, and he ended up being the minister of South Parish Congregational Church for almost 40 years.
Wow.
This was his home. He and his wife both came from some family money. Back when ministers came from some wealth.
But this lot was only $1,600.
$1,600 to buy this lot of land.
Back in
And
1800.
so Aaron, this is the front parlor where I spend a lot of my days. This is actually my
Also known
office.
as the office.
Yes. But again, different molding here and similar in terms of the shutters and whatnot. And this is a beautiful, beautiful fireplace.
Well, on behalf of Maine Life and Kennebec Savings Bank, a big thank you to you guys and to all of you who've been watching season 3, and through the support of the bank, we've been really able to explore Central Maine, which I haven't had the opportunity to really do before. So thank you. We've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
my friend.
Geez, from Waterville to Monmouth to
Hiking.
to Gardner, hiking.
Yeah, we're everything in between.
We've done it all.
We are excited to see what 2019 brings, and we will be back exploring Central Maine and beyond with you guys. So.
It's been a lot of fun.
Cheers to that. Cheers, my friends. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next year. Crazy to think about.